Welcome everyone to West Catholic Live, a show about all the great things happening at West Catholic High School. I'm John Gonzalez, and as always, I'm joined by your principal and your friend, Mr. Tony Fischer. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing really well, John. Thanks for asking. It's been a good couple days this week. The students have lots of energy, and I think it might have something to do with that 5-day weekend they had. So happy to have them back in the building and get back to work.
Could also be the weather.
Possibly the weather, a little bit warm up, this week for sure. And, and there's a lot of excitement right now. It's the end of fall sports, and it's been a successful season. And we're heading into winter sports, so the tryouts and stuff they get all excited about. We'll talk a little bit about that stuff later. Yeah,
we will talk about all that and more on today's West Catholic Live. I want to thank you again for joining us here live online every Wednesday on Facebook and YouTube. Remember, if you want to see all the content, check out our social media channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and Twitter, all over the place. Yeah. Also, we're available as a podcast. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. All right, well, let's look at, we're in the MAC right now, right?
Yeah.
Why is there a tennis ball hitting our studio?
I don't know.
You're the principal.
Our tennis coach is producing for us. Maybe he knows why there's tennis balls all over.
Maybe they're practicing on our windows out there. You know what? We have a busy show today. We're going to talk about Veterans Day and how we will celebrate as a community here at West Catholic with a Mass. On today's show, we will talk to a former teacher and coach about what Veterans Day means to him. We're also going to play a clip from our president and CEO, Cynthia Kneibel. She did an interview with Michigan Sports Radio, which was a lot of fun. We'll talk about that scholarship in her name. Okay. And we're also going to be talking to the Michigan Sports Radio hosts, Tom Mikowski and Joe Sack, who stopped by to talk to Coach Landon Grove on the West Catholic Football Update.
Okay. They hosted again?
They hosted again, yes.
Nice.
Maybe you're back next week, maybe. We'll see.
Sure.
Not sure yet.
We'll see.
But first, we have the Weekly Chatter.
That's right. The Weekly Chatter is our segment with news and tidbits about what you need to know going on at West Catholic and within the community. So, busy week again once more. We start off this week on Friday. The West Catholic Choir will be performing in the morning for Fox 17 for Veterans Day. They'll be singing patriotic songs and celebrating all those who served. So you can catch them again on Fox News in the morning show, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then we will then follow that up with our Veterans Day Mass, where everyone is invited to join us as we say Mass in honor of those who served our country. So 10:15 on Friday. That's
right. Let's see. Household communities are currently competing in our annual food drive to benefit St. Mary's Food Pantry. Students should bring in non-perishable food to their designated community box in the MAC through November 21. We're talking about canned goods, snacks, condiments, side dishes, and cereal. But any Captain Crunch that you're going to bring in, please bring it to the studio first, because I'm a Captain Crunch guy.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't mind Captain Crunch. I've always more or less been an Apple Jacks guy, but Captain Crunch is pretty good, and the Berry Crunch isn't bad either. It's a favorite on the out west trip.
Okay.
For sure.
The winter sports are coming up, right?
Winter sports tryouts are coming up. As I said, the end of fall sports is upon us, and so that means the start of the winter season. You can go to our website at grwestcatholic.org, go to the athletics tab, and you can then find information about all of the winter sports coming up and how you can get involved in those.
You notice we kind of match today?
We did. I did on purpose. Gonzo's going to wear the gray. I'm certain of it.
So what's the price? So the little name tag has to be below or above? I got mine on the left. You have yours on the right. Why is that?
I never go over where the WC is. I'm always going to leave the WC by itself.
So you're covering the Under Armour?
I'm covering Under Armour up. Yeah.
Not promoting them at all?
I'm not getting paid by Under Armour.
Okay, well, I am. So that's a whole different. No, I'm not. All right, let's get to the show, everyone. Beginning with an interview that we have with the retired teacher, Murray McGrady. Now, I enjoyed getting to know Murray a little bit, talking to him about his dad, and of course, about Murray's all the volunteer work that he's done. He's dedicated a big part of his life to help those who served in honor of his dad, John, who passed away 6 years ago. So I know you know Murray really well.
I know Murray quite well. He is a wonderful person, and he's been on the out west trip a number of times, planning to go again this year. And he certainly will see him speaking highly of his dad and those like him. So
all right, well, let's play the clip.
Hi, my name's Murray McGrady, and I'm a retired social studies teacher and coach from here at West Catholic. I got involved with the American Legion when I was a young kid because of my family, my father, who served in the Air Force during the Korean War. One of the things I learned participating in the American Legion with my dad and my family back in Swartz Creek was the sense of community that was in our Legion at that time. As the years went on, I moved out, and when I came back to Grand Rapids in '92, I had another friend named Don Lamoureux who got me interested back into participating with the American Legion. And so I joined as a SON, which is an organization within the American Legion, the Sons of the American Legion. I did this in honor of my father, who again is a veteran. In participating, I got to meet and get involved with a lot of veterans and veterans activities. And one of the things I thought that was pretty interesting at that time was the Vets Home is here in Grand Rapids. And so a lot of the organizing that we would do, or the programs that we would do, would be directed towards the vets at the Vets Home. Seeing these men and women and listening to their stories made me more active in participating and supporting veterans affairs or veterans activities. And so I have been doing that off and on for the last 30 years. Because of that, I'm a big supporter of West Catholic's Veterans Day Mass. We've been reaching out to many vets, informing them about the Mass and the importance of supporting our veterans. And the Mass will be this Friday at 10:20 at West Catholic High School. I think it's really important. I think sometimes we forget about the sacrifices that our military members make to their families in support of our country. And coming to the Mass and coming to any veterans activity shows them the community still supports them and still respects them for what the sacrifices that they've made. We hope to see you at the Mass this Friday at West Catholic High School.
Thanks for that, Mr. McGrady, and all the hard work that you're doing in honor of the veterans. Greatly appreciated. And again, just a reminder, our Veterans Mass is this Friday, November 11th at 10:20, and West Catholic invites everyone to come join us to honor all of those that served using the celebration of the Eucharist. So
then after
again,
Mass,
please join us, and then after Mass, the veterans are all invited to join us for a light luncheon.
a light luncheon.
Very exciting.
It was a lot of fun last year. A lot of people showed up.
Yep.
Looking forward to it again on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our next segment is from an interview that took place last Friday on the Michigan Sports Radio show during halftime of the Constantine game. Cynthia Kneibel talks to Tom Mikowski and Joe Sack about many things, including how she attended the first game 20 years ago at Falcon Stadium in the bleachers from the former Hausman Field.
Yeah.
Well, the bleachers were there. The Hausman Field's still there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you remember that game, right? 20 years ago?
I do remember that game very well. Yep. Still have the photo, I believe, in my office of the aerial shot.
Really?
Pretty fun. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, she also talks about a special scholarship that was announced in her name. You were there for that big announcement.
I was there, and it was a very exciting and very deserving announcement, actually. Mm-hmm. Cindy's worked really hard on behalf of West Catholic to make sure that anyone that wants to come attend West Catholic High School can afford it. And it's really important to us that anyone that wants a Catholic education, no matter what type of person you are, can come here. And she's worked so hard on that. And to hear that announcement in her name that will support students' abilities to join us here at West Catholic, she was elated, and it was very exciting and very cool.
Well, let's play the clip.
Let's talk about the scholarship. So recently they named a scholarship here at West Catholic after you, and all your, and deservedly so.
Well, thank you.
So what an awesome recognition of all the hard work and time and talent that you've put into West Catholic over the years.
Thank you. I mean, it was such a surprise. It was at Falcon Award night, and I know a couple months ago, Jill Vanderendy, our development director, just kind of said, "Hey, why don't you invite your family?" And I'm like, "They don't want to come."
Yeah.
And so behind my back, she talked to my family. My whole family was here, and that was a surprise. So I thought that was my surprise, because she did let me know during that there was going to be some kind of surprise. But the bigger surprise was the Cynthia Wiz Kneibel Scholarship Fund that some of our families chipped in for, and it has a beginning balance of over $35,000 in cash already. And it just was an incredible honor And I look forward to the fund continuing to help support students here at West Catholic, because about 50% of our students have some form of tuition assistance needs. And without, the nice thing about endowed gifts and foundation gifts is that they continue on and on and on and
That's
on
right.
forever. And the more we can build that, the more we can afford to have all the students. Well, right now we do have all the students who want a West Catholic education. Yeah. We do make it work for them.
And for any of you listeners out there that know how hard Cindy has worked during her tenure at West and want to contribute that, please give Jill Vanderendy a call in the development area, and let's boost that number up so we can get more and more students that can take advantage of that scholarship.
Do we know the particulars of those awarded? Do we know the particulars of those?
Yes, this particular fund will be a fund that is not, the students do not have to apply for, but it will be the leadership at West Catholic that determines special hardship cases.
Perfect, yes.
Great.
And it could be hardship. We have a number of students here who are refugees from war-torn countries, but it could be other hardships that happen in the home. There's a number of students here at West Catholic that need really significant tuition assistance due to no fault of their own or their family.
Wonderful.
So those are the families.
Wonderful.
That's fantastic. So it's not like an application process for that
Correct.
particular scholarship.
Correct.
So,
All right.
Okay.
Great interview. Thanks, Tom and Joe, for checking in with Cindy at halftime of last week, Saturday's game. Again, it was super fun to see her receive that honor at Falcon Awards night. And you can continue to contribute, I believe we said, if we just call the office and speak to somebody in development, we can continue to grow that award in Cindy's name for our students at West. So
yeah, I was just asking about that behind the scenes. A little earlier, you missed Mr. Tony Fischer leaving the set to go yell at some kids in the MAC because they were throwing those tennis balls around. So
they were chucking
did you
tennis
find
balls
them?
around, and I think we're okay. Yes.
By the way, that game was last Saturday, Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week's game is Friday
night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't keep track of Friday, Saturday, right? But either way, that's why I play the game. Hey, just a reminder, if you want to hear the full interview with Cynthia Kneibel, you can go to the Weekly Chatter email. Hopefully you can subscribe to that, or check out the West Catholic High School YouTube channel. We'll have the complete interview there from that halftime show on Saturday. Not Friday.
Not Friday.
This week's game is Friday.
This week's game is Friday night at 7. That's right. And as we just said, as everyone knows, we are very excited about the conclusion of fall sports because we have so many teams still competing, right? Our volleyball team will play tomorrow night, 6:30 at Comstock Park High School versus our league rival Fruitport, or one of our league foes in Fruitport. And they're actually trying to win the first regional championship in West Catholic volleyball history. So good luck to our ladies. I went and watched them last night. They were fantastic. And then again, the football team will be competing against Lansing Catholic Central on Friday night, 7 o'clock, Falcon Stadium. Tickets for both, again, gofan.com in order to go out and support your Falcons. So good luck to both those squads.
Speaking of football, every week we do a podcast called the West Catholic Football Update, and we've had different guests fill in. I've done it. You've done it. This week, Tom Mikowski and Joe Sack from Michigan Sports Radio filled in, and they co-hosted with Coach Landon Grove to talk a little bit about that big game on Friday night. All right, let's play the clip.
On to Lansing Catholic, a very familiar foe. You know, it's almost like going right back up to D5. They came down to D6 last year, and hey, man, they were the state champions. They're defending state champions here. And then in 2020, state semifinal lost to Frankenmuth, and Frankenmuth then played Grand Rapids Catholic Central. And then in 2019, they were the D5 state champion. They've been busy on Thanksgiving weekend for the last few years, haven't they?
Yeah, that's a special program, and they remind me a lot of West Catholic, where their community, their kids, their coaches, they're used to winning. So, we talked about how it built an advantage for us to have teams come to us the last couple of weeks where they got to drive up here, they got to see our banners, they got to see our environment. I don't know if that's really an advantage anymore because all of those kids at Lansing Catholic, they see that every day too. And it's one of those things where they got a lot of tradition. They got a lot of good players. And for me, the biggest thing is that 6-5 record is not much of a tell sign of who they are. They're a really good football team. They're really talented, and they have championship pedigree, which means a lot this time of year. And until someone beats them, they're still the state champs in Division 6. So, we respect them, and they're going to get our full effort.
Absolutely. And the weather here for these practices in the playoffs here, has that led to a lot of enthusiasm for the kids?
Well, with the weather, we've been so spoiled. Like even today, it's in the 40s, but it's sunny. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's unbelievably beautiful outside. So we're extremely blessed with some really good weather right now. And then for with the kids, we're having so much fun right now in everything we do, whether it's lifting, whether it's film, practice. Like we're having so much fun where every day is just a gift for us, and we're enjoying every single day that we have together. And we're trying our hardest and fighting our butts off to make sure we get to keep doing it for a couple more weeks.
All right. Should be a really fun and exciting game. I've seen a number of these Lansing Catholic, West Catholic football games, and they're always really good. And I'm excited for the guys. They look motivated. I've seen them in the hallways, very focused. I think that might be on school a little bit, but I know it's also on the football game for sure. So.
Well, again, congratulations to both the football team and the volleyball team.
Yep.
Big success here in postseason play. That's it for this week's West Catholic Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, you can find us as a podcast. Just search for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts, and you can definitely check out West Catholic Live. Have a great rest of the week and great weekend.
Yeah, see you all next week. Go Falcons.
Go West.